Donald Trump shared a map of the United States and it does not look like this. In fact, it's this. Yes, Trump's map includes Canada in the territory of United States. This came not long after Trump shared a shocking proposal to make Canada the 51st state of United States. The incoming US president even went on a little far by threatening to use economic forces to absorb Canada into the US. He said that many Canadians would love for Canada to become the 51st state of US. All this comes just hours after Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resigned.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister.
But for argument's sake, what happens if Canada does become the 51st state of the American Union? How will it impact the US, and most importantly, how will the merger impact Donald Trump and his party? Let's dive deeper. Canada becoming a part of the US is majorly a bad news for Trump, because then Trump and his Republican Party might never win a national election again. Adding the 51st state, the state of Canada, will alter the overall electoral map of American national politics, and it might actually be in favor of the Democratic Party. So picture this, if Canada becomes the 51st state, it would change how the US government works, especially in the House of Representatives. The US Congress is divided into two institutions, the House of Representatives and the Senate. In the US, House seats are allocated based on representation by population, which based on the 2020 US Census means that one House seat for every 7,61,169 people. So with Canada's population of 41 million, it would get about 54 seats. This would make Canada even more powerful than California in the House. Now, of course, all of our calculations mentioned earlier assume that the process of adding Canada as a state can get past political disagreements in the US over how to divide seats and how to redraw district lines. It also assumes that Canada would agree to follow the US system for dividing seats, which would reduce its 338 House of Commons seats to just 54 and its 105 senators to 2. So now that we know about seat sharing, let's understand who will most Canadians vote for. Grafting Canada's political structure onto US party politics would be awkward. So let's make another assumption. Presume that the voters of Conservative Party of Canada, that is the main right-wing party, will vote for the Republicans. And the rest, like those supporting the Liberals, New Democrats, Greens, etc., would vote for the Democrats. Since Canada's left-wing parties win about 63% of votes, this would mean that around 2/3 of Canada would vote for Democrats and 1/3 would vote for Republicans. This will make it harder for Republicans to hold a majority in the House of Representatives. Now the big question is how Canada joining the US would affect the Electoral College. Each state has Electoral College votes that are the sum of the House of Representatives and Senators. We also know that the winner of the popular vote in each state takes all of the state's Electoral College votes. So where will the state of Canada's 54 Electoral College votes go? Well, if Canada actually becomes a state with 54 Electoral College votes, these votes would likely go to the Democrat candidate, given Canada's political leanings. Fun fact, this could have swung the 2000 and 2004 elections. Republican presidential victories in those years could have swung in favor of the Democrats. So perhaps it's time for Trump to recognize that Canada is a different country with its own history and political culture. This could help him avoid trivialize an unnecessary trade war that threatens billions of dollars in trade and jobs for both nations. Even more, Trump could realize that the countries that he's antagonizing are part of the crucial network of American allies.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.